What's really going on in a woman's mind when she starts falling for a man? Not the fairy tale version, the actual subconscious checklist. Today, I'm breaking down 8 things women notice, often without even realizing it, that quietly decide whether we fall for you or file you under just a friend. Let's get into it.
How you handle rejection. Here's something most people don't talk about. It's easy for a woman to say, he's just not the one. But when a man gets rejected, he often takes it straight to the chin. It becomes a hit to his self-worth. So here's point 1. If a woman says no, that's simply reality. Accept it. Second, it's her opinion. Do you control her opinion, her mind? Absolutely not. So stop replaying it on loop. And here's the twist. Rejection isn't the end of your story. It's fuel. It's a wake-up call that says, okay, noted, next. Because your entire life was never orbiting around one person's yes or no. Quick communication tip. The next time a woman turns you down, don't sulk, don't disappear awkwardly. Leave with a genuine compliment instead. Something like, honestly, your smile is your best feature. Don't ever lose that. Whether you're with me or someone else, doesn't change a thing for me. Here's what happens in her mind after that. Wow, he took that rejection so gracefully. He complimented me on the way out? Interesting. Wait, he really doesn't need me, so maybe I never actually mattered to him. Not before, not now. That shift plants a seed. I've seen this pattern play out over and over. The same women who said no often circle back weeks or months later, once that subconscious challenge kicks in.
2. The everyday choices you make. This one's huge, and it happens in the earliest stages, often before we even fully register it. Ask yourself, do you waste a lot of time? No structure to your evenings or nights? Too much time on porn, substances, partying, or just letting other people's opinions steer your decisions? And here's the biggest one. Do you constantly agree with everything a woman says, with zero opinion of your own? If that's you, we notice fast. Women are drawn to men who have a rhythm, a morning routine, boundaries around when they're reachable, a clear sense of direction. A man who says, I don't check messages before 8 a.m. because that's my workout time, or after 10 p.m. I'm offline, that's not coldness, that's structure. And structure is magnetic. The way you eat, how emotionally regulated you are, how little you get rattled by small, petty things, none of that means you're a robot. It means you're not reactive. And women notice that difference immediately. 3. Your communication style, making her feel seen. This is where real connection starts. Women don't care nearly as much about how you look, what you're wearing, or where you took her. What we care about is how special you make us feel in your presence. Picture this. You're on a date, and she catches you checking out another woman, or scrolling your phone, or cutting the conversation short because a call came in. In that moment, she feels ignored, rejected even. And just like that, her interest quietly exits the room. But flip it. Remember the small stuff. Follow up on things she mentioned days ago. Hey, how did that job interview go? Or did your mom's test results come back okay? That's it. That's the whole move. When you show interest in the small, unglamorous details of someone's life, they feel heard, seen, and valued. That's when chemistry deepens into real intimacy.
4. Whether you can be easily manipulated? Here's an uncomfortable truth. The man we can push around the most is often the man we lose attraction for the fastest. There's something psychologists might call a maximizer mindset. For boyfriends, we might settle. But when it comes to a husband, suddenly the bar shoots up. We want the absolute best. So we date around, we compare, we filter, because we're investing our time, energy, and emotions, and we want the best return on that investment. It doesn't matter how much money you make or how impressive your resume is. What matters is, how much do you value yourself? How firmly do you stand on your own beliefs and boundaries?
A man who believes his self-respect matters more than someone else's approval, that's instantly, powerfully attractive.
Having a strong, consistent value system, before you were even in our lives, your belief system, the way you think, talk, and carry yourself, all of that already existed. And women notice early on how strong that foundation is. If you don't cave to pressure, don't jump into every argument, don't react impulsively, and think before you act, that unshakable, unmovable quality, that's a green flag we're wired to notice. It tells us you have principles you actually stand on, not ones you abandon the moment they're inconvenient. 7. Fake confidence versus real confidence. This one's massive in the early stages. Fake confidence leans on external validation, flexing about money, status, what you can afford, what car you drive, dropping names, all to impress a room, even if it doesn't reflect who you actually are day to day. Men with fake confidence often chase the trophy, someone stunning to show off, even if behind closed doors, the respect isn't really there. Because fake confidence needs an audience. Authentic confidence looks completely different. These are men who feel just as content alone in a room as they do in a relationship. They protect their own routines and rhythms because they respect their own company. And here's the real test. If a partner disrespects them, manipulates them, or constantly questions their decisions, no matter how attractive she is or how perfect the couple looks to everyone else, a man with authentic confidence will walk away every time. And that's exactly the kind of man we fall for. 8. Vulnerability. This might be the most underrated one on the list. We deeply fall for men who aren't afraid to show their vulnerable side. A lot of men avoid this because they think it'll make them look less masculine. But vulnerability isn't weakness. It's sharing the thoughts and emotions you're not totally comfortable with, the messy or complicated parts of your mind, with someone you've specifically chosen to let in. When you do that, here's what happens. She feels chosen, specifically, deliberately chosen. She respects you more, not less, because it shows you're not embarrassed by who you are. It's take me as I am. Women fall for men who build real emotional connection. So that's the real subconscious checklist running through a woman's mind. The little things we notice, often before we even admit it to ourselves. Pay attention to these, not just for your dating life, but because every single one of them fuels your own personal growth too. If this resonated with you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with the people in your life who could use a little more clarity, emotionally and mentally. See you in the next one.